Study the Cleopatra singularity, from absolute chaos to absolute zero. A pristine piano and a weeping bandoneon weave a hypnotic fractal tango motif, while tiny glitch particles and unstable digital echoes crawl beneath the rhythm. Slowly the mirror order collapses into recursive battle grooves as a heavy repeating bassline clashes with distorted progression and aggressive new metal gent architectures. A queen's ambition carved in shifting sand where tango rhythms rule an ancient land. The piano and bandoneon softly play while digital and fractal glitches stray. Symmetrical melodies begin to break as mirror orders in the shadows shake. A recursive battle groove of bass and sound with distorted percussion shaking the ground. The Hammer war machine begins to rise beneath the gaze of dark eternal skies. Eternal skies. Acatolian Zerna and the tableau warrior ancient and mutates violently, a piercing proud Turkey Cerna cuts through the mix like a blade, locking horns with an intricate lightning fast Indian tableau rhythm. Layer 8 stain chaos architecture and layer 11 cyber tango battlefield collide. Guitars drop tune to absolute abyss levels, fire off mathematical 7/8 syncopations, while a massive opera fractal storm builds a towering cinematic wall of choral fury. The Turkish Cerna sounds a proud decree against the tabla's complex alchemy. The gent guitars explode in heavy bars, reaching across the galaxies and stars. An opera fractal storm begins to swell with vocal magic and a heavy spell. The quantum order fights the rising noise as cyber tangles drown the phantom boys. Gain evolution spikes into the red with structured power waking up the dead. Matrix slams head first into a high-octane global dance, lap fusion of bouncing danga kuduro, Afro-Latin beat fused with heavy, sexy red trap bassline takes over the rhythm. Old school hip-hop swagger drops in with LL Cool J and Snoop Dogg cadence, it instantly melting into Alan Walker. Cinematic EDM drops, Michael Bublé jazz pop elegance, and Daddy Yankee reggaeton power. The Kuduro beats begin to shake the floor as trap-infused rhythms open up the door. The rap flows heavy with a vintage grace, bringing old school swagger to the space. And Alan Walker synth descends choir sounds are pulled completely out of the speakers, converging inside the listener's head, before drifting outward into a vacuum of absolute darkness. The track concludes on an absolute 0-point silence, closing the 15-minute suite. The master bus activates